In recent years, I have somewhat gotten into watching old films, and there's several reasons for that. First, I get depressed about modern cinema and TV sucking so much, and while I do realize this is boomer mentality creeping in on me because of the simple fact that shitty films have existed always, I also really do find immense pleasure in watching old films, for a reason that's not boomery and unrealistic, I promise. And my non-delusional reason for that is, old films feel like time capsules to me, and me being a giant history nerd, that basically makes an old film feel like time travel, a literal way of glimpsing the past, with all its positive and negative sides when compared to our modern times. And must I add, should I really pinpoint this very real fact that in comparison to nowadays, even if you go back only a few decades, the world was a lot worse, and we're talking in terms of everything. Living standards all across the globe, standards of morality, tolerance, all that crap, especially before the internet connecting us all and making any kind of depravity much more visible, which in turn shamed people into being much more cautious about being a piece of shit. And while I do realize and acknowledge the fact that the internet anonymizing people and making them connect over long distance gives them the courage to be at their worst, since there's no immediate threat of physical retaliation, still, we can't deny the fact that the age of the internet has brought upon humanity a much larger wave of social conscientiousness, was that a fucking word, and justice. People now connect and agree en masse as to what's justified and what isn't, and they rant en masse against perceived injustice. You get what I'm saying? Our modern world has a lot of downsides, but statistically, the net positive is larger than the negative. And although we can complain about how difficult life is for us, the past was, and will always remain, much worse. And so that much worse past is amazing for me to witness through these old films. For example, you watch Marilyn Monroe films and see how every other movie she made was about a gold-digging woman wanting money and diamonds, because women at the time could not open up banking accounts. Or you watch the classic 1930s Disney Snow White, where a man assaults a minor with a knife. Or in the case of this video, I watched Black Narcissus from 1947 or whatever the fuck it was, and I saw this scene.
For stealing in my house! For stealing a brass chain which is only worth 2 annas! Finish the beating and begin to be a man!
And my brain finds it fascinating that these things were even put on screen at all. Any kind of modern sensitivity to justice is simply not existent in these films, because people didn't have the moral sense to even realize how horrible these things were to do in real life or depict on screen. And in the next bit, I'll expand on my experience of watching Black Narcissus specifically.